Hello, BookTube. I just got back from the Christian Science Monitor with 100 new books to glom all over, and I came back to a fairly small afternoon shipment. Morning shipment of books was big, but the afternoon shipment was fairly small, so I thought we'd go through it and try and get a video in under 10 minutes. The first one is very slim thing. I don't know what this could be. It's from Pegasus. Oh, it's Pegasus Books' winter catalog. In this case, slim is very good. And look, there's the Alexander Dumas thing, the very first one. But what else have we got here? Oh my. The Last Volcano. With a blurb by the Christian Science Monitor. Very nice. Let's read it, shall we? Bubbling and sloughing under the surface of the author's terrific new book is the quietly terrifying reminder that we somehow managed to live on a tectonically active planet. A remarkable story. That's a pretty sexy blurb. A book about cycling behind the Iron Curtain. A whole bunch of coloring books. The paperback of Storms of War. We've seen that on this channel. New hardcover novel about the Trojan War called For the Most Beautiful by a classics student at Cambridge. History of espionage. A couple of thrillers. There's the paperback of The Lady of Misrule, which is about Jane Grey. It was a really good novel. Paperback of Michael Broer's Napoleon biography. Here's a hardcover of Battle Royale, the wars of Lancaster and York. How big is that? Only 400 pages. Okay. A collection of fiction from the terror wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Interesting. A new trade paperback of Written in Stone, which is about the origins of human language in the Stone Age. More novels. Here's a hardcover, 400 pages long, The Evolution Underground, Burrows, Bunkers, and the Marvelous Subterranean World Beneath Our Feet. Doesn't that look good? Yes. Yet more novels. New hardcover called Darwin's First Theory, about plate tectonics that will be have a lot of Sir Charles Lyell in it, who's not as well known as he should be, I would doubt. Here's the paperback of The Temptation of Elizabeth Tudor. We've seen that on this channel. With a very lovely blurb from the Christian Science Monitor. Norton explains these machinations with as much knowledge and nuance as any historian has done since A.F. Pollard. Her book is indeed dramatic and shrewd in its analysis of the marriage politics swirling around the court. The book could scarcely be bettered. A.F. Pollard. Takes a sexy critic to mention him. Book about Barcelona in 1952. A Sam Wilson novel. The book about the 8th Air Force in World War II. That'll be interesting. An anthology by the great Ellen Datlow of dark fantasy stories starring birds, as if they weren't creepy enough as it is. There's something called The Memory Code, subtitled The Secrets of Stonehenge, Easter Island, and Other Ancient Monuments. That's kind of fun. A new psychological thriller called Nightwalker. Doesn't that look good? A guy inside a frame, inside a frame, inside a frame. Mm-hmm. There's the paperback of D.K. Wilson's The Trader's Mark, which is set in the reign of Henry VIII, and which has a very nice blurb from the Christian Science Monitor. A richly atmospheric plot, the sexy reviewer says. Skillful plotting and pacing wonderfully evokes the street-level reality of Tudor England in its sights and smells and even unexpected beauties. And because nobody really knows how exactly Hans Holbein met his end, the plot is charged with genuine suspense as it boils along. I don't know which that does more, make you want to read the book or make you want to send presents to the reviewer. This is getting a little tedious even for me. And I'm the world's biggest egotist. Hey, look, more coloring books. There's a thing called The Passenger by F.R. Tallis, a new supernatural thriller whose tagline on the cover is, not all those on board are invited. A new novel, a hardcover murder mystery called The Wages of Sin, set in Victorian England. Interesting. Very nice. Oh, and there's the paperback of The Mystery of the Lone Wolf Killer by Uni Turretini, which was a great book, and which has a great blurb from Open Letters Monthly calling it a riveting account. And it is that. I highly recommend it. It's not easy reading. It's even for an American, you'd think we'd be desensitized to mass killings by now, but it's not easy reading. Oh, paperback of Nellie Dean. A hardcover called Resurrecting the Shark, a scientific obsession and the Mavericks who solve the mystery of a 27-million-year-old fossil. So prehistoric sharks then. Another Victorian murder mystery. And yet a third Victorian murder mystery. Okay, all right. Hey, calm down there. Okay. More murder mysteries? I must be in the murder mystery section here. Oh no, there's the hardcover called Castle by Mark Morris, who's really good. Oh, and look at that. Matthew Dennison is doing a new biography of Beatrix Potter called Over the Hills and Far Away. How wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful. A graphic novel of Paradise Lost. I believe that's Satan wearing a pork pie hat. Trade paperback of The Last Armada. That was very good. That was a very good book. Ooh, look at that. Time Traveler's Guide to Restoration Britain. Oh, very nice. That sounds like a winner. The paperback of Eisenhower's Army. Oh, and this will be depressing reading, and yet the publisher won't mean it to be. A History of the London Zoo. That's not going to be fun to read. I'll do it anyway, but that's not going to be fun to read. And that is it. That is the Pegasus catalog. Very nice. And why isn't A History of the London Zoo going to be fun to read? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody say it along with me? Because it's a prison. That's why. Only it's not just any prison. It's an 18th century prison in which people could pay to go in and point and laugh at the lunatics. It's not just a prison. It's a prison horror show. Anyway, let's move on to the book, shall we? Oh, God help us. Okay. First one is called America First. It's History, Culture, and Politics by Bill Kaufman with a foreword by Gore Vidal, who's been dead for 100 years. Okay. All right. Well, it was going to be downhill from a catalog anyway. Let's see if we can go uphill from America First, shall we? What's this next one? Oh, I think we saw this before. This is Blitzed. This is the finished copy. It's a romantic tragicomedy that recounts the exploits of Beto, a young architect who heads to Munich with his girlfriend to take part in a landscape planning competition. In an instant, a text message Beto wasn't meant to receive shatters him, leaving him disoriented and heading nowhere. But unintentionally, he falls into the arms of Helga, an older woman, in a cross-generational encounter that is the heart of the tale. Okay, well, that we haven't heard of that. I haven't heard of that before. But this is pretty. Looks nice. David Trueba is the author. And the book comes out, I'll bet, any time now. Yep, August 30th. Have way to get out of the gate, other press. All right. Then we've got this, which sort of spoils the surprise by announcing on the front what it is. This is the finished copy of A Little History of Religion. these little history series from Yale. This comes out in late September, and it'll just be a very quick Wikipedia-style overview of the histories of religion. And then we got this big thing from Norton. That's always fun. Just what will this be? Oh, it's more Norton Critical Editions. How nice. Oh, how nice. So we've got a totally unopenable origami folded note here. Yeah, a nice note from the Norton people. And this is, what have we got here? Okay. Two very interesting and great new editions in both editions, the cover design artist went on a long vacation, I hope someplace scenic, maybe Jamaica or the U.S. Virgin Islands, and left somebody else in charge. If I have received two less visually appealing books in 2016, I do not remember them. So you have Grim and Grimmer. There's Grim, Hard Times, and Grimmer, Jane Eyre. Both of them in off-white, blurry, sepia-tone photos that are incredibly, crushingly depressing, and that scream mandatory textbook. And yet, as we know, some of us, I'm assuming a lot of us, these are both great books. Nothing depressing about them at all. Nothing that should be mandatory. They're books that can change your life. So maybe I'll put Superman stickers over the front of them, but I'm happy to have them because you've got, as I've mentioned on this channel before, you get the text and then you get a whole bunch of critical apparatus in the back. Letters from the author, letters to the author, original critical reactions, later critical essays, timelines, histories. It's fantastic. And now I've got two more of them, so that's wonderful. All right, so Blitz, a little history of religion, Murica, and a mouth-watering catalog that's just chock full of great blurbs. So there you have it. Thank you, BookTube.